the anglers to the lures on the end of your hook. Let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoulinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here hanging out with you.
Yes. We have a good friend of us, our show and stuff like that. He's coming on tonight. Good friend on Facebook and other social media platforms. He's going to talk a little bit about Toyota Series, BFLs, different things you can get into as a co-angler, and some additional ways you can win some money. I'm all about that, and I know our wives like us to bring some money home. So,
oh yeah, and he fishes all over, so got a ton of knowledge. So if you guys ain't getting questions, this is your expert right here, I guarantee.
All right, so let's bring on Rusty. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
Do good, man.
So if you don't mind starting off, let's talk a little bit about what got you into fishing tournaments and growing up and stuff like that.
It all started fishing. I actually gave up my Passy for a rod. That's how my parents convinced me to give it up. They said they would buy me a fishing rod if I threw it away. That's when it started.
Absolutely.
But my grandpa, more than anything, we did a lot of pond fishing, and we lost him in 2010. And I dedicated my first BFL ever to him because he's the one. Without him, I wouldn't be fishing. And end up placing third, and that lit a fire. Kind of ruined me.
Oh yeah.
I understand that. So how's it going this year? I mean, what are you fishing this year?
This year I fished local Cowboys. I fished the Bass Nation. Fished BFLs, Savannah River. I've done one Bulldog, one Choo Choo. While I was down at Gunnersville, I went ahead and jumped in it.
Cool.
And I've done Toyota Series, naturally.
Okay.
That's my big one this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was going to fish the Toyota on Champlain, but my wife and I decided it was better for me to get work done around the house and go play for a week.
Honeydews never go away, man.
No, they don't. But you're a co-angler, and
yeah,
you're doing pretty good this year.
This year's been an up year for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What would you say as far if somebody came up to you and says, "Hey, I'm thinking about fishing tournaments, but I don't have a boat."
I'd say, hey, MLF and Bass Nations, those are two that are really good co-angler friendly, but I don't know much about the Bass Nation. I've only done one tournament, finished second. But the BFLs is definitely the way to go. I mean, you learn a lot, especially if you're starting out. There's a lot of techniques to learn from these guys. They're on their game. And you can pick up a lot of tips along the way. And
absolutely.
It's cheap. I mean, it's not super expensive. You ain't got to worry about gas, maintenance on the boat. You just got to show up and fish. Have a good time.
Yep.
And our buddy Barking Rugers was on my case. Hey, grandson. And he said, Rusty, you're making bass fishing beards great again.
Funny story. I thought about cutting it, and my daughters was like, "No, don't do it." So it stayed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
This summertime, it gets a little aggravating sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I understand. Outdoors in Maryland says, "Hey, fellas, so you enter any of the pie eating or ice cream eating contest with that beard?"
Oh no. Nah, I'd save it for later if I did.
There you go. There you
go. You could probably win first. Just shake your head and it'll be gone.
There you go.
It's all in your beard.
I'm pretty good at eating too, so.
All right. So if anybody has any questions about Rusty or about co-angling, please don't be afraid to shoot them out. And we're all just here because we enjoy fishing. We love talking about it. So
Absolutely.
And you know what? Rusty's
That's
from a
right.
different part of the country, so you might learn something from him just by where he's at. And Barking Gruber says, true story, Rusty. After I shaved my beard, I realized how bad windburn can be.
Yep, been there and done that.
Oh yeah. The thing is, the sunburn that gets me. I don't like my face being burnt, so the beard protects me.
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
So,
Keeps the wind off of you.
That's for sure. Yeah, I can't grow
What
a
was
beard.
that?
I can't grow a beard.
I can't either. Not a good one.
That's because because we're handsome. They want to see more of our face.
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. I think you got a hit right there.
I did.
I wouldn't mind it being trimmed, Rusty.
I don't know. I think the I don't know. I think the ZZ Top's still in fashion. So just saying.
Oh yeah.
Just tell her you're prepping for No Shave November.
There you go.
There you go. I'm starting early.
There you go. Better be early than late.
That's right.
All right. So what's your favorite technique?
I know it's been talked about a lot, but I've been doing really well this year on a shake head. It's easy as co-English best friend, but I would say top water is my favorite. I mean, watching it eat, that's all part of it.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm in New York, and I don't bring top waters to tournaments.
Oh, man.
You're missing out.
Lake.
You're missing out, man.
See, now, listen. Years ago, that's 90% of what I'd bring.
Yep.
But with the gobies, it's keeping the fish down.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I got you.
I mean, I don't say that.
I do know what I learned in Michigan, that the real color, the spark shad, the small ones.
Yep.
You crawl it across the bottom, then smallmouth will destroy it.
Oh yeah.
Now, Rusty, we're not
one thing I did learn.
We don't talk about spark shads on the show.
Oh.
No, that's all right. A lot of people don't know about them for the St. Lawrence and Finger Lakes area. But,
Oh, really?
yeah. A lot of the elites use them up there.
I got you. The southern boy doesn't let the cat out of the bag.
That's
but the juice, and they do work well on a Alabama rig. Just saying, I may know a thing or two about that.
Now, Rob, we used to be friends until you said that.
Just saying.
No, that's one of the things in slow rolling a Carolina rig or an Alabama rig.
Yep.
With the spark shad on it, where it's really, really nice.
Oh yeah,
especially in the fall. But,
yeah.
So you're from South Carolina?
Yeah, I would call my home lake Hartwell. It's like 52 minutes from me.
Oh, it's
so
not
I'm
bad.
always there. Nah.
Man, I don't know if I could, what I would do if I lived 52 minutes from a lake. I mean,
yeah, that's another thing that ruined me up north. My buddies, they was like 20 minutes. We're in the water. I'm like, must be nice.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I mean, I do have to put up with the winter, which for me it's maybe 4 or 5 inches, maybe a foot of snow where I'm at, and our lakes don't freeze where I'm at, so we can go out pretty much all year round if you bundle up. But like I'm 10 minutes from 15 minutes, I'll say, from Cayuga Lake.
Man,
an hour from Oneida Lake. Lake Ontario's an hour. St. Lawrence River is maybe 2. So I mean, I got some pretty good fishing around me. And if you hunt, there's a lot of good deer.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Big time hunter.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
Last season I got sidelined with a torn PCL, but I'm gonna come back this year.
Cool. With a vengeance.
Oh yeah.
Gotta stock the freezer.
That's right.
Absolutely. Now, I know, like last year, I was catching them crazy on a drop shot. I don't think I've caught maybe one dink on a drop shot. It's funny how you ever notice like one lure 1 year be great, next year you can't catch nothing on it, and you have to switch it up. It's kind of weird that way how that works.
Oh yeah, the first time I threw the whopper plopper, it was May 10th. I won't forget it. Lake Russell.
Yep.
Just a gut feeling because I watched MLF. You know, I was like, they do it. I mean, why can't I? Pulled it out, tied it on, and commenced to whacking them. We caught 50 in 3 hours. I mean, it was insane. And we never had a day like that before or since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've caught them, but not that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now that's another thing I've never thrown.
That thing works in cold water. Where's that? I was at the wild card at Wheeler a couple years ago, and it was cold. Wind was blowing crazy. And we go in this one cove that's kind of protected. And this guy was fishing with his brother was fishing the same cove. And his cove was throwing a whopper plopper. I said, hey, man, you catching them? Yeah, I got 3 or 4. Ain't had a bite all morning. I was like, Never would have guessed that whopper plopper would have worked. I think I caught one on a Ned rig that day, and that was it. So, and missed one. But.
Well, I did something here local too. Is we threw it a little earlier than everybody else is used to. You know, we was early March, February. You know, and everybody like, "There's no way you're catching them on top." I'm like, "Well, we are, and we can prove it." We showed them, took them out, and they couldn't believe it. I was like, "Well, it's that early pre-spawn bite, you know."
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Gotta feed.
And works well in the fall too. I had a best friend of mine. We stayed in Knoxville. We fished the wild card in Knoxville, Loudon Teleco, and it was a tough bite. Nobody's catching them. He had, I think, a 90 whopper plopper and had a log out by the dam. And he says, some reason I said, I'm gonna toss it. So his boater fished it, and he says, "Can I fish that now?" I said, "Oh yeah." Threw that whopper plopper out there. You got 2 keepers on one cast. Almost made the All-American on one cast.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he come with like 2 or 3 ounces. Zeroed the first day and got them 2 the second day and almost made the All-American. I mean, he was like, I think finished 10th or 11th. I mean, he was right there. I was like, oh, man.
Well, that's my goal this year. I mean, I want to make the All-American. That's a goal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
absolutely, man. Yeah.
Chris
that's the where to be at, man.
Chris says Lake Green would be closer to you, and when we go in the Lanier.
Hey, whenever. I love Lanier. I'll call out of work and go if I had to. Lanier's that special.
Yeah, that's where you're that's spotted best heaven right there.
Yeah, it's got my second largest spot with a 580.
Woo, man.
Jacob Palika wants to know, what's the best thing you learned this year fishing Toyota Series?
That's a tough one. Learning new lakes. I mean, I've never been to Guntersville. That trap bite was insane. That would probably be and hanging out with Jacob. He's actually the reason I fished the Toyotas. We talked about it at Hartwell when he was down for the high school national championship, and he's like, "Hey, let's go fish the Toyotas next season." I was like, "All right, deal, let's go." And that's the reason I even fished it.
Cool.
Nice. Now, Rob would have said finding new restaurants.
That too.
Well, I don't know. We did eat out one good time at Guntersville and had a nice steak. That thing was probably like 35 ounces, 36 ounces.
Ooh,
couldn't eat it all. It was good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the guy that goes for the 2-pound rib.
I will say, I take one thing back. One thing I did learn in the Toyotas was on Smith on the final day, Demiki. I've never fished a Demiki rig before. And day 2, that's how I caught the only keepers I had, was a Demiki rig out of the back of the boat.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, after day 1
and all that.
Well, we was fishing in 100+ foot of water, but they were suspended up to like 5. So you throw it on like a light head and just start reeling and twitching it, and they'd choke it. Them herring fish, I mean, you got to move it.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's one thing that helped me out with Smith is I was used to a herring spotted bass lake. And
Yep.
one of my other buddies, Chris No, he took me out. He fished a tour for, he's still on MLF and all that and FLW. He took me out that Tuesday, I believe it was, my first day of practice, and I caught over 60 on a particular bait that keep me in what they're going to eat. He was catching them another way, which worked, but I was following up behind him with a shaky head and whacking them. Day one of the tournament, got paired up with a really good guy. He was around him. He caught him. We both caught him. But I started catching the mess out of him. And he was like, dang, I'm throwing the exact same thing. Shaky head, same worm, same color, same everything. And I was catching maybe 4 or 5 to his 1.
Hey.
And yeah, I was smoked. I mean, I caught 30 that day, day 1. It was insane. I caught multiple 3-pounders. Is pretty good size for Smith. I mean, it's coming back. It used to be a dominant, big spotted bass lake, but it's been down. 12, 13 pounds is a pretty big bag down there. And I ended up having 12, 10 after day 1.
Nice.
I also missed out on $1,500. I caught a tag fish and wasn't in one of the programs down there, and found out the hard way.
Oh man.
Yeah. What's bad is my boater, he flipped up there, got bit, missed it. I flipped up in there, caught it, and it was that tag fish. He was in the program, and he's the one that told me about it. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Way it goes.
It's one of those. Hey, if you, I'll put it on your hook. You say you catch it, we'll split it.
Yeah.
And I actually got. I think one thing that helped with the hookup and catching so many is this. It's not your normal shaky head, screw lock or anything like that. It's the Gamakatsu skip gap, which I don't even know. I heard stories they were not even making them anymore, or that Spro's going to take it over. But it was this green pumpkin green Magnum shaky head worm on a 1/4 ounce skip gap.
Yep.
And the hookup ratio is insane. You just reel down. You ain't got a jack on them and kill them. You just reel down and lift, and they're hooked.
Yeah, and I use that Cinco's, and that head is awesome. Try it on a stick bait too. Oh, yeah. It works good.
All right.
Yep.
What size weight do you like for the shaky head?
I just like 1/4 to 3/16. I don't try to go too heavy. And now, if it's super windy, I probably won't even be throwing a shaky head.
Maybe that's why I don't throw it, because it's usually windy up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how familiar are you with Kerr?
I've been there once for regional. I know there's a lot of pickerel. The first decent bite I had was a pickerel, and learned the hard way. Don't put your finger in the mouth.
Oh.
Yeah,
I watched my boater do that. I learned that from watching, not experience.
Okay, all right.
Cool.
Andrew Pulliam says, "Hey guys, hey Andrew, how you doing, buddy?"
Hey.
Oh boy. Barking Ruger says, "Demiki rig, hover strolling, juggling. Is there really a difference in juggalo fishing?"
just the way you shake it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. What's funny is there's a thing here on Lake Kiwi is the Demiki rig, just a jig head or shaky head, and instead of a bait fish like a swim bait or a whatever you want to use, fluke style, you put a finesse worm or a shaky head worm or a trick worm, and on Kiwi, when they're not eating a drop shot, you could drop that straight down. They'll jump on it like that. They call it doodling.
Yeah.
Isn't doodling catfishing where you stick your hand in the hole?
That's noodling. That's noodling.
All right. Noodling, doodling, same thing. Ashley Klaus says, "Hey,
What's
Rusty."
Up,
Barking, right. I always just call it jig head minnow fishing.
That's all the same.
There you go.
Yeah. Like, what up? Rob says, how y'all are, and I'll say, how are you guys doing? That's all I'm saying.
I'll say. Now, what's the weirdest catch or something happened in tournaments? What is kind of the weirdest stuff? I've had some quirky stuff happen. What's been kind of the weirdest stuff ever happened in a BFL or Toyota or Bass Open with you or your boater? I guess I'd say.
Well, there was one. The banana superstition.
Yep.
It's real. I had a boater on Buffalo, and he's like, "We're going to test this theory out." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" We was catching them. He done had 3 or 4. I had 3 in the box. It was about 10 o'clock. He said, "We're going to test it out." So he pulls out a banana. I was like, "Oh my god!" Neither one of us never got another bite, and his motor wouldn't start. I'm like, shouldn't have brought the banana.
Bad idea.
That was
bad idea.
Yeah, bad.
The banana was in the boat before you guys, while you were catching fish.
It's mental. We knew it was there. The motor found
exactly.
out, I guess.
Yep. He let the bad vibes out. If it's under the cover, the lid, it ain't the same. Oh man, terrible.
I have a guy in the local club, and he says if you bring up, he'll inspect you. He'll inspect your lunch to make sure you have a banana. Yep. I'm like, I don't care. I'll bring a banana on there. And
I went one time. I never carried bananas and was having the worst luck. I'm like, everything was going wrong. I'm like, what the flip? Come to find out, I had banana boxers on. Forgot.
Oh man. Yeah. The weirdest thing I had happen, I had a BFL earlier in the year, and was at Norris, right there above Knoxville. And my boater was by this waterfall, and he was throwing out, and he caught some catfish line. So he pulled it in much as he could, clipped it, threw it away. He's cranking. But 3 casts later, he catches more line. He says, "No way, that's the same line." Well, he starts hand lining in. He says, "It feels weird." Pulled it in. There was a half-ounce jig and a 12-inch spot still on it. No telling how long and he already had his limit. And he's like, "Well, would that be a legal fish or not?" He says, "I'm not going to use it anyway. I got my limit." But, it was exactly 12-inch. I was like, I wonder how long he had that in his mouth swimming. I mean, he was healthy looking. I mean, he wasn't skinny, but crazy.
Ashley wants to know if you can give her some hints for Hartwell.
For now, I mean, here recently we was catching them on the cane piles, top water. I mean, early morning we was throwing some swim baits, worms, and pop-ards and stuff. But we really got on them after 10 o'clock on an Namastick over the cane.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
They're not on all cane piles. You just got to run and gun. But when they're there, they're going to eat initially. I mean, you make 2 or 3 casts, you go. That and a fluke. You can't go.
Oh, yeah. That's solid right there.
A lot of people, when they see them like that stacked up, they catch one, they try to stay there trying to keep catching more and more. Once you pull them off that cane, they're done. You got to move on.
Oh, yeah.
You go ahead and set back up.
Yeah, do like a milk run. Come back through 30 minutes, an hour later or whatever. Let them set back up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Dang. No. I'd be sitting there. I'd try to yank them all out.
Well, that live scope is hard. It's tempting. You see them, and you know they're there, and you've seen them follow it to the top physically. But once you pull them off, you got to let them reset. You might get lucky and catch one more. But it's best to just move on. You got 400 other cane piles you can run and catch just as many. You know what I mean?
Now, you could be a nice guy and mark them for her.
I don't know. I'm gonna get. She's got a fish against me come August.
Uh-oh. Sound like there might be a side bet there coming. Sounds like.
Side pot.
Yeah, that too.
Let's talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind. Side pot. No.
Yeah, it's a fantastic program. Luke Schrader, I've been with him like the first year. It's definitely worth getting into. You'll kick yourself.
Absolutely.
You're leaving money on the table if you don't. Which I did my first Smith Lake regional. I finished 34th, which would have won it, but I didn't sign up. So ever since then, I was like, I ain't doing that again.
Yep, leaving money on the table.
Yeah, the fact, being a co-angler, and I think this program it's big for the co-anglers, boaters
Absolutely.
having participation, working on it. But you don't even have to win, and you could have a okay day and still cash a check,
Oh yeah.
And there's multiple times I've won more with the side pot than a top 10 guy or 15th guy in the actual
Oh yeah.
MLF.
Absolutely. Yeah, I finished I think 14th on Cumberland last year, and the side pot paid me more than the BFL did.
Yeah, that's this past one at Clark's Hill. I didn't even expect to do well at all. I was like, hopefully I catch a fish.
Yeah.
Went out, caught the first one, then caught the second one, which was a good largemouth. Caught another one, caught another good largemouth. I'm like, okay, I got 4. Might be doing something.
Yep.
And thank God that morning at the boat ramp, I signed up for it because I had forgot.
Oh,
And
heck.
it actually reminded me.
Yep.
So I signed up real quick and ended up finishing 11th. I'm like, had no expectations, nothing. Just, hey, I just hope I catch a fish for points.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Been there and done that. You just want one fish to get up on the weigh-in stage. I've been there.
Yeah. That 100 points can mean a lot towards the end of the
Oh,
day.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And now I'm 30 points away from first with the super tournament again. I know that's a long shot, but hey, we're gonna make a run at it. We're gonna try.
Oh, you're in the hunt, man. You're in the mix. You're in the hunt, man. Anything can happen.
Now, what place are you in? Do you know?
I'm in 7th.
Okay.
Wow.
So
awesome.
it's pretty tight, within 30 points.
That is. And it was like double points for the supers or almost double points. I can't remember how they figure it, but it's a lot more for the super.
Yeah.
I think it's 100 extra, like 350 for first and so forth. It moves on down.
Yeah.
So just about double.
Man, you can make some moves, man. You can do it. But another thing about side pot, I know when me and you fished that down there, Eufaula, I zeroed the first day, and I caught a couple, and you're just fishing against the people that enters the side pot. So I think I finished 77th. Right. Well, Rusty calls me, and he says, "Congrats!" I'm like, "On what?" I finished like 77th. He says, "You won the side pot." I'm like, "You're kidding." And I was like,
keep up with it.
Yeah. I was like, man, I was coming through Atlanta, so I needed, some good news. So, man, that's perfect timing, man. You had ESPN. I need some good news. I did.
Yeah, that day, too, was a little rougher on me. I caught 5 or 6, but they was all short. Day 1, I got lucky with a Carolina rig, which is another co-angler-friendly bait, and caught a 2.5-pounder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, day 2 was rough because I had a young guy. We run all the way to the dam, and he caught a nice one on a Carolina rig. And we started taking off. I said, "Hey, man, does your boat already set this load?" He's like, "No." Open the rig compartment, there's water up to the battery. He's like, "Oh, man." Hits the bilge nothing. And he said, I'll hot wire it. So he took it out, hot wires it, starts pumping. All right, we're good. Go next stop, and it quits. Can't hot wire it. And he's got a dock bumper, this guy found in the road, gave to him. We cut it in half. Was every time we stopped, we was bilging out. Boats would come by and say, "Y'all okay?" Like, yeah, we're all right, man. So it's a crazy day, but it worked out.
Yeah. I had the guy's boat, it had a leak somewhere. So every 20, 30 minutes, the bilge would come on and just start pumping. Which I was like, as long as it's working, we're floating. We're good.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So the bilge is working, you good.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. Especially up here, you need the bilge because, not just with the rain, but sometimes, you get the Jeremy May special, the 6 to 8 footers up here, and you stick one, you spear one, you're in trouble.
Yeah, or you get in a hard rain. You get in a hard rain. It puddles up pretty quick.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I've only speared one, and it wasn't a big wave compared to up there, but it was enough to. I don't want to do it again. So much water. It's insane how much water comes in.
Oh yeah.
All right, Rusty, I'll read it for you, man. Here's a question for specifically as a co-angler. Does it make a huge difference if you difference to you if the boater's fishing deep or shallow? Is one better than the other?
Naturally, I prefer shallow. As a co, you don't got the live scope. You got targets you could throw to. Unless, like at me, at Hartwell, if we're near where I know where cane are and points and stuff we're fishing, I don't mind it because I know general area and I can make cast to it, blind fan casting. I'm somewhere I've never been. Fishing deep's pretty tough. I'm just dragging hope for the best.
That's all you can do, man. Just keep your lure wet. I mean, that's all you can do.
It's easier to catch.
But yeah, I definitely prefer shallow.
Yeah, I do too.
Barking Ruger says some anglers bring their own FFS, and Rob brings a bilge pump.
I do from now on. I'll bring an old hand pump. I'll bring an old hand pump with me.
One of them kerosene orange pumps.
Yeah, one of those like a bicycle air pump.
There you go.
Hey, Rob, just to let you know, they got the kerosene pumps with the batteries in them now.
Oh, that's too fancy for me, man. That's too fancy for me.
Just take the battery out of your scale.
I'll bring a cup. I'll bring a cup in my tackle bag.
One of the collapsible ones?
Yeah.
All right. So is there a lake that you've fished and not want to go back to?
I know it's one of my buddies' home lake, but Oconee.
Really?
I've never come in there.
Oh.
I've been the best I've done is 4, and it's been rough every time. I mean, I don't know. It ain't for me.
What's rough for you?
Not catching the limit.
Yeah.
In like 3 or 4 years. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm on.
They got some big catfish though.
Oh hey.
Hey, that's dinner.
Yeah, they'll eat a jig too, pretty good.
Yes, they do.
Had they a spinner bait on Guntersville. I caught like a 12 or 15 pounder on a spinner bait, and he did like dirt shallow, and he flashed. I thought it was a smallmouth because he was brown, and he flashed. I said, "Oh man, I got a big smallmouth." Pulled it up, like, "Oh man." Bit my spinner bait all up. Yeah, he bit my spinner bait all up. This is this little 1/4 ounce spinner bait. I mean, he did a number on it. I was like, man, my favorite spinner bait too. Man, it happens.
Yep. Now they're pretty ferocious, especially on the Potomac.
Mm-hmm.
Chatterbait, rattle trap, crankbait, anything that moves it, they're on it.
Dang.
Yeah. The Potomac, they got snakehead, don't they?
Yes, they do.
That's one thing I ain't never caught.
I ain't either.
I don't know if I want to, but
no, that's like weird critters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw them up on land, watch them walk away. That blows my mind.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I want to catch one.
Snakehead?
Yes. They say they're good eating.
I heard that, but I don't know if I can do it.
Nah, I'll pass.
Looks too much like a real snake.
Yep.
I don't know, man. But no, I fished the Toyota tournament, Toyota championship. I don't know, years ago, and they had a nice fried catfish dinner for us. Yeah, it was all you can eat, and I tried to find the table closest to the buffet line, but they were all taken.
Yeah. That's another thing that you mentioned about Toyota is I fished the Central. I fished three tournaments, the whole division. I didn't do so well at Guntersville.
Yeah,
I did fairly okay, I guess if you want to call it that, at Chickamauga, and I had the 14th place finish at Smith.
Sweet.
Well, Mark McWaugh had posted a cutoff for the wild card as far as how many points are the cutoff.
Yep.
The cutoff was 420 points. I have 465. I was like, so are you saying I'm qualified? I got to fish one more and stay above the cut of points to be in the top 25 as a co for wild card to make the Toyota Series Championship. So I'm trying to get on Santee come September to give me that fourth one to qualify.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that's a weird thing how you can fish different circuits. Because each division, it's like you could fish one in each division and you could still make the championship.
Yeah, it's like taking your best 3, drop your worst score.
Yeah.
You could fish 9 and take your best 3. I'm assuming.
Yeah. They used to call it like second chance qualifier or something when it first come out a couple years ago. But it's a chance to get in.
I've never qualified for that.
And for the Toyota Series champ.
No. I've always qualified for the championship. I've never been able to fish the wild card or whatever, second chance. But like
I've never fished the wild card for BFLs. Like you physically fish a tournament. This one they call it the wild card and they just tally your points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second way to get into the championship, basically.
Yeah.
All right. I learned something today.
There you go.
But what is your favorite lake to fish?
Well, I'd have to say Lanier here, but if I could go up north, I've only fished very few lakes, but Michigan ruined me with them smallmouth. I'm sure there's New York and all, and St. Lawrence River, Champlain and all would be great. Them smallmouth is probably my favorite to target, but they're just not.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
My first one ever, I caught on Cherokee in a regional, and that was it.
And you got to watch Cherokee because they change from 18-inch minimum to 15. And it seems like every time when they go there, it changes to 18. So I think that one time I fished it, I caught a 17.5, just a football on a popar. And it was, it had to be 18. I'm like, oh, man. Blue.
Like fall, like it's like September or something to March or something like that.
Yeah, it's something weird.
I did the same thing.
Yep.
But the Bass Open I fished, the Bass Open was 15. So everything I weighed was smallmouth.
Nice.
And that lake's got a lot of mean mouth, too. It's got a lot of mean mouth mix. It's got some weird combinations, that lake, too.
So what's a lake that you've not been to that you'd like to go to?
Probably out in Texas, Lake Fort or somewhere like that. Rayburn, somewhere catching a big old largemouth. Get a hold of a 12, 13 pounder. I don't know what I would do.
Just pull.
Yeah.
And hope your line holds. Hope your line holds.
Yep. Finesse fishing at its best, right?
Yeah.
What's the rest of your season look like?
I got a couple more local Cowboys deals. Got a 6-man deal for the state through the Bass Nation down on Clark's Hill. I think early October. Have the regional because I should be guaranteed in. I would think being 7th angler of the year. On Pickwick, and then that Santee Toyotas, and then hopefully, if I stay qualified, it's Wheeler for the Toyota Series Championship.
Yep.
All right.
And then I do a little work club, but it's just a couple guys having fun with what we do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's like Rob and I with this podcast.
Yep. Hey, just having fun. Yeah. Yep. But you get bragging rights. When you fish something like that, it's for bragging rights pretty much. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like me and my buddy Michael Bell. I told him I was away from the Federation for a while. I told him I was coming back to make sure he didn't win Angler of the Year because he won it 2 years in a row, and he's not winning it this year.
You put the jinx on him, man.
I told you. He's afraid. No,
man.
He's a good friend, good stick too.
Oh yeah, he is.
Now, do you fish any partners tournaments or just?
Yeah, there's a local skeeter trail. We took this year off just because I was doing the Toyotas and everything else. It interfered with most of the year. But me and my buddy Toby, we fished the skeeter trail and qualified for the championship every year we fished it so far.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
Can't beat that.
we had
Now,
a fourth place finish at Russell. That was fun against some sticks. Them are all the local hammers, and we end up fourth.
Nice. Can't beat that. Now, I hear a lot of co-anglers. Now, how many rods you usually take? I hear them all over the place. Usually I do 3 to 5. I can't do it with 4 or 5 rods. I can't do it. But how many rods you usually take?
I take
or is it got
5 or 6.
Yep.
I usually take 5 or 6 and end up probably throwing 1 or 2 all day.
Yeah, that's me.
The others there for mental support.
Or you get a professional overrun that you can't get out, and it's like, okay, that one's done. So
I take 6
and then
or
you cut that bait off, tie on what you was throwing on the other.
yeah, pretty much. I even carry an extra reel. I carry an extra reel. If I have braid on one, I have like fluorocarbon on the other one, so I even carry an extra reel.
Right.
Yeah. No, I carry 6 or 7. Usually,
once, I didn't even.
Yeah.
Marky Gruber says, always good for your spare to have a spare.
Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen. Crazy things happen.
Yep. Yeah.
That is the worst feeling, being out on the water and not having what you need. And you just try to do your best, knowing you had it in the truck or just forgot it, and it's like, dang.
Every tournament, it seems like that happens. Like, man, I should have grabbed my top waters or something. Your boater just tearing them up. It's like, man.
That happened to me this weekend. I took my Alabama A-rig rod, and I'm like, I'm not going to throw it today. Left it in the car. And I'm like, oh, man. I wish I'd have had it. Because where we were fishing, it was prime for it.
Oh, yeah.
I could have cleaned up. But, oh, well.
It happens, man. Live and learn. Live and learn.
Hey, I came back safe.
Yep.
So that was the goal for this tournament.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've had a weird year in Mountain Division. I've had 2 boaters. Well, one his batteries run down, and then Tommy got him back. He had 24 pounds, had a good shot at winning it, and didn't make weigh-in because he run it to the last minute and his batteries was dead. And Tommy changed everything over. It was too late. Then I had another guy. We wasn't going fast. He had a log. But we was doing maybe 10, 15. And the only thing it did, it popped a little plastic throttle thing. So, like, we'd go about 5 miles, and this tape and wire tie come loose. He'd have to wire tie it back. So, it's been a weird year in Mountain Division for me. I'm way out on points on that, but it happens.
Yeah, I'm hoping James Wheatley, Robert Holliday, all of us can make it, you know. We talked about it at the beginning. All qualifying and making it at Pickwick, having a good time. That's my favorite part of it.
That's awesome.
And hanging out.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. And you have your partners, if you like short of hook or short of lure, your partners always hook you up. Oh, man, I got some. That's pretty cool.
That's what happened in that Toyota Series Day 3 for Smith. My buddies from Michigan, that's how I didn't have anything for the Demiki rig because the guy told me, hey, we're going to be out scoping and this and that. I'm like, oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
So they hit me with some jig heads and a couple baits, and it's like, just throw where he's not throwing. Fan cast.
Yep.
So we got out there and 100 foot of water and started fan casting and working up top, and they come up and eat it. I caught 3 day to 3. 2 of them kept. One was a little short, and that was it. But it can be done.
Man. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know a lot of people get discouraged fishing behind the scoper, but they ain't going to catch every fish in the water. Like,
no.
And, I don't mind fishing behind the scoper because I know he's going to be around fish.
Oh, yeah.
It's even worse when you're fishing with somebody and you're like, there's nothing around you. That bothers me more mentally, knowing that we're not around fish.
Right.
And most boaters are pretty cool. They'll say, hey, they're biting, 4 to 6 foot or 5 to 10 foot. So they'll tell you about where they're getting bites at. So they'll help you out, that way. So that helps out a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I got to shout out to Isaac Peavy House, day 3 partner or pairing.
Yep.
He would say, hey, they're only about 5-6 foot down. That's how I knew in 100 foot of water, they would suspend it up and keep it up top. So, I mean, he was very informative. There's even one time he's like, hey, there's a massive school up here. I'm going to throw in them. And usually when you fire them up, you can catch multiple fish. He's like, as soon as I land and get one, and I mean, he was absolutely the best. I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. He fishes Mountain Division. Great dude. I think he won this year. I think, or come second. But yeah, he's a good dude. Absolute hammer.
Oh yeah.
Barking Ruger says, I try to keep 5 rods on deck. I started off with 5 different baits, then transitioned to 3 of 1 of 2, and other that are producing.
Oh yeah.
I want to know how he figured out he had 5 rods on the deck. Did his wife count them for him?
Oh man!
Find out from the scoper if they were on the bottom or suspended.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Exactly, Rob.
Yep.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Barking Rugers, he's almost to the tip of Cuba. He's still in the States. He's very good with electronics. He sets up some electronics for some of the pros.
and crappie fishes with a 30-pound braid. Don't forget that.
Yep. And he's going to be on our VIP show coming up here in a couple months. That's going to be on a Saturday evening. You're not going to want to miss it, because especially if you want to learn how to catch fish using electronics
and setting it up. He's really going to set up.
So we'll give you more information as the time goes closer to that. But yeah, he definitely likes the 30-pound braid.
Catching crappie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
From carp to crappie, all in one rod.
Yep. Now, Rusty, I know you fished just about everything. What has been like one of your favorite tournaments? Mine's always the Big Bass Bash. I fished last couple of years, and that's just a blast. You get to launch where you want to launch at, and weigh-ins every hour. But what's been your favorite, I guess, tournament or format? What do you like the best?
I like the regionals.
Yeah.
That to me is, hey, it's championship. You top 45 in your division. You're fishing regionally against the other best top 45. I mean, it really puts you against the best competition, and you travel to new places. I mean, that's, to me, it gets me. The competition, new places, meeting friends, hanging out, going to eat, it's a good time.
And then you get paired up with somebody that's top notch. Yeah, it's top notch.
Yeah.
Now, you said earlier in the show your goal.
I will say
No, go ahead.
Yeah. The one thing I would say with the Bass Opens and Toyotas, there's potential to get paired with the big names. My first Bass Open, I got paired with G-Man on Toho. Won't ever forget.
I did too.
Austin,
I did too. Oh man, yeah. I think I got him when he first had his Phoenix, and it was all black. His truck was all black. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's funny. He jokes around before the tournament, but when he's fishing, that guy gets quiet and serious. But I understand, man. He's making a living. But cool dude.
He'll explain what he's doing and looking at too. Well, at least with me at Toho, he's like, "Hey, I'm going over here. This is why. This is what I seen." So you can learn from him. I mean,
definitely.
I would have never thought to take a drop shot to Florida and throw it in the pepper grass.
Yep.
I'm looking at videos trying to learn how to fish Florida, and they're throwing punching rigs and frogs and chatterbaits and rattle traps. Nobody mentioned a drop shot.
He did the same thing to me. Yeah, there's a little depression right in front of the Toho Marina, and he went over and fished it. And he says, "I fished it because I caught like 100 1-pounders here one year in MLF." So I was like, we pulled out that spinning rod. I'm like you, man. It just blew my mind. I'm like, what? G-Man got a spinning rod on Toho? That blew my mind, man.
Now, what's the chance it was the same tournament for you two? What year was it?
Was the year
This was
year before last, maybe?
2021.
Yep.
So you two fished within the same
Were
tournament.
you in February? Yeah, I had him day one.
Now this was 2018, I think. It was in January. Yeah, it was in January.
All right.
I said it was a long time ago. That's when he first got with Phoenix. It was his first year he had a Phoenix, and it was so new he didn't have it wrapped. It's kind of weird, but good dude.
So we did talk about a little bit about the All-American. How do you qualify for the All-American?
You got to qualify for your regional and then finish in the top 6.
Yep.
The closest I've ever been is in the regional, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Day 3, they take top 12, so you got to at least make day 3 and then beat half of them. So.
Yep.
All right.
Closest I've been is 34th, so I ain't been close.
Man, you do, man. You're due.
Yeah.
Well, 34th out of, what is there, six regions?
I think it's 3.
I think they do 4 divisions per regional. Yeah. So it's like 180 to 200 boats. So
Yep.
So 34 is not too bad.
And that's top of the top. I mean, that's some of the top 45 out of every division. So that's pretty dang good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but everything's got to align to make it.
Yep.
You know, how they say to win a tournament, everything's got to go right. It's true. Everything's got to go right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not miss your fish. Everything it bites, you get to the boat. I mean, you're right. It's got to be perfect because that field's so tight. Like I said, with ounces, you could be within 10 spots.
Yeah.
All right. I have a weird question for you. What's the strangest or weirdest or worst thing that's happened to you in a tournament?
Worst thing? Not going to mention names, but it was a particular big tournament, and I had 2 fish. He had his 5. It was pretty cool. Like, I was helping him. I would run up there, net his fish. He'd throw over a dock cable. He'd get hung up. Like, I net the fish, get the fish off, but while his lure's wrapped up, I undid it for him while he's dealing with his fish, helping out. That way he can get back to go, do what he's got to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, we're going to leave after this dock." Okay, that's cool. I started tidying up, putting all my stuff together. He's fishing the walkway. He goes around to the other side, fishing the walkway. I'm like, he said we was going to leave after this. So, hey, there's a point out the back corner of the boat. So I fired across to the point. I caught number 3. It was barely a 15-incher. And he completely loses it, flips his lid on me, starts cussing and everything. I said, "You knew I was going to go over there. You cut me off. I'm tired of co-anglers taking advantage of boaters." I'm like, really? What? I was like, that was the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, wow, man. Jeez.
Yeah, it was a bad day. And I still ended up catching 4, but the 5th one, he kind of burnt me on. I hooked one up in the laydown, and he took off with the trolling motor. I broke off. I'm like, okay.
Oh, man.
And so that was rough. But I'm not going to say which tournament it was. I'm not going to say who it was. I'm not going to do that. Just say it was a bad experience.
No, I hear you.
Pretty smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so the toughest question of the night is going to be, what's your favorite homemade cookie?
Homemade cookie. I like good old chocolate chip or macadamia.
All right.
There you go. Can't go wrong there.
Rob, we need to get that Jeopardy thing sung when we're doing that.
Yeah, put them on the spot.
Yeah, definitely. And if they do something weird beside like chocolate chip or sugar cookie, then they're womp. Put the horn on them.
Yeah.
Put the buzzer on them.
What was that one cookie?
Yep.
White macadamia nut?
No,
it wasn't like that.
Ginger.
God, I can't remember now.
All I can think is ginger snap, and it's not it. Snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodle?
Snickerdoodle. Yeah, I was like, what?
I like that ice cream.
Yeah.
You see that majestic beard, John? Rusty's all about the classics.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I don't mind ZZ Top. Nothing but a sharp dressed man here.
There you go.
No, do you have any sponsors or anything like that you want to talk about? Give a shout out who helped you along the way and things like that. Go right ahead.
Yeah, for sure. FX Custom Rods, they took a big chance helping me out. The way that started was a Bass Master Classic at Hartwell. I spent all 3 days at the booth with them, talked to them, and talked to Shane, and he got with the staff director guys, pulled my application, and is all she wrote on that. But FX has been huge for me. I got Pulsefish Lures with Todd Godin and Jeremy Wynn. They've been phenomenal. Love their baits. I got Fish Life Fish Care products. Randall Carter. Awesome, top notch. That stuff is the live well cleaners will not only clean your live well sparkly clean, it also gets your coolers, everything. But their live well treatment is, I've never lost a fish. Their fish care, fish aid. I've tongue hooked one at 8 o'clock in the morning. Cut the line. I didn't want to, he's bleeding. Put some of that stuff on there, put him in the live well with some treatment, and he was the most liveliest fish at the end of the day. And he had a hook stuck in him. Top notch stuff. Powerhouse Lithiums, I mean, they keep my boat running. I've actually dual inline parallel 236 volts, and I could go 3 or 4 days without having to charge. And that's beneficial going to out of town. You don't know where you're going to plug up at or whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just have no worries. And then, of course, with Luke Schrader, he actually made me the ambassador for South Carolina for sidepot.
Cool.
So that was a big thing. I mean, it's just an honor, you know.
Yeah.
I want to see that thing take off. Well, we got 100-something entries, you know, per tournament.
Oh, yeah.
So I do what I can to spread the word anywhere I can, everywhere I can.
Absolutely, man. Great program.
And of course, all my friends, they couldn't do it without them either, you know.
Yes. I know, Rob, and I appreciate you for coming on tonight in such short notice. Thank you again.
And we're gonna have you on. And we're gonna have you on after your season to kind of recap. And when we get those big wins, man, we're gonna have you back on.
There you go. Hopefully, we're going to the All-American.
There you go.
I hope we're all there, man. I mean, that's the goal. So hope all of us get there, or at least one of us. Somebody get there.
Yeah, somebody.
Yep.
All right. Well, Rusty, appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Anything else you want to say, or?
The biggest support I got is my family. That's the biggest thing that lets me do this. If I couldn't do it, my wife take care of the kids while I'm gone traveling to the Toyotas. Without that, there's no way I could go.
Absolutely.
The peace of mind of being home. So,
but well, I'll be seeing you on the water, man. Hey, best of luck to you on your super and on the regional. But you got a big win coming, man. We're gonna keep up with you and root you on. And best of luck to you, man. I'll be keeping up with you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Y'all have
Take care,
a good
sir. You too.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Rusty. Have a good. All right.
See you.
All right.
All right.
All right. Now we got one last Barking Rugers here.
It's a trap, Rusty. Rob doesn't have to be faster than the bear. Watch him. He's sneaky. You're right.
Hey. I'm in bear country. We've seen a few around here. One in the next subdivision over, lady had it on a ring camera getting in their flower bed. So, yeah, I'm not gonna find that. I'm not gonna find out the hard way if I'm faster than the bear. Though, don't worry.
Yeah, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the person you're with.
Exactly.
Yep. So, all right. Anything else you want to talk about, Rob?
No, just great guest, man. Rusty's man, he's just consistent, man. He always catches them side pots. I think he's won almost more side pots than any. He's won a lot more than I have, and I've won quite a few. So hats off to him. I said, y'all fish BFLs or Bass Opens as a boat or a co, you need to check it out. If you don't get signed up, you're leaving money on the table. Exactly. Even John will remind me before a tournament, hey, did you sign up? Oh yeah, I got to sign up real quick. So yeah, so remind your buddies to sign up. Sometimes they forget.
And Luke's a straight up great guy. I forgot, because they canceled Oneida Lake. He's like,
yep.
Hey, do you want me to move that money to the St. Lawrence, or do you want me to the next tournament, or do you want a different tournament? I'm like, just move it to the next one.
Oh yeah,
I forgot all about it.
Oh yeah. No, he's solid guy, and he actually won down Douglas. He was a co-angler down in Douglas this year at the BFL, so he's quite the hammer as well. So great guy.
Yeah. Tomorrow's show, I believe, is Michael Catt. He won the Potomac Toyota Series a couple months ago, and we're gonna have him on, talk about that, talk about big fish. He knows about big fish. He's from Florida.
Yeah. Great guy too. Super nice guy.
He fishes all over the country as well. So, anything else you want to talk about, Rob?
No, I just appreciate everybody tuning in, and said we had a great guest. Rusty's always a great guy, very knowledgeable, and y'all keep an eye on him. He's going to make some moves. I feel win in his future, in the very near future. So, but again, said tune in tomorrow night for Michael Catt, and same bat channel, same bat time, as they say.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Peace out.